Hello everybody, in today's video we're going to be taking a look at using cooperative engagement with a stealth platform, a hard to detect radar, and an awful lot of missiles combined all into one awesome strike package. So what we have today is a really large group of Tupolev 22 M3s, we have some Sukhoi 27s, and they're all looking pretty nasty, and they're heading towards our little defensive bunker over here. So I'm going to pause. I'm going to repause. All right, so what can you tell me about the tactical situation from the perspective of my striking aircraft? Keep in mind, my strikers are equipped with the latest and greatest of modern air-to-air warfare. They've got infrared sensors. They've got everything under the sun. What they don't realize is the fact that just beyond their range, there is a single F-35 sitting here with his handy-dandy phased array radar with its low probability of intercept. So one of the great things about the F-35 is its sensor suite. I'm not going to lie, that is its survivability. It's not that it's well-armed or maneuverable. It's the fact that it's hard to detect, and it's the fact that it can see things really well. We also, of course, have ourselves a pair of F-15EXs. For those of you who are unfamiliar with that version of the F-15, basically they took the regular F-15E and said, you know what's cool? 20 AMRAAMs, which means between the two aircraft, we have 40 AMRAAMs. Now, if you do the math on that really quickly, you realize that is a total of 2 AMRAAMs per target. Now, the thing here is I cannot turn on the radars of these F-15s. If I were to do that, I would immediately give myself away, and we get in a really nasty AA-12 versus AIM-120, basic kind of a thing, dogfight. I don't want to do that. But what I do want them to do is I do want them to engage all these lovely targets here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the F-35's radar to guide the F-15's missiles. Now, this is going to be a little tricky. Right now, we are not using any radars on this. Remember, this is the important part. You don't want to give yourself away here. So I'm going to press Shift F1. I'm going to go ahead and hold down Shift again. Drag a box around all of these targets. Select them all. This is important. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here. I'm going to click this, set this to 1. Click that twice. Come down here. And I go ahead and do that again. So we're firing an awful lot of weapons here. So let's see here. That's a 20 allocated for both. That's 40 AMRAAM missiles, for those of you who can do the math on that real quick. Now, I want to stack the deck on this engagement a little bit here. And one of the things you probably notice is the weather's not great. Let's take advantage of the fact the weather's not great to put the missiles into the clouds. So I'm going to go ahead and unpause here. Keep in mind, my F-35's at no point, I should have said my F-35 is running its radar. My F-15s at no point will activate the radar, because to do so would basically give up this entire conspiracy that I'm basically applying here. So I'm going to go speed them up a little bit here. I'm not speeding up time. They're F-15s. They go plenty fast enough. Now, keep in mind things like infrared sensors, flares, and all those kind of things do a really good job seeing the big flare of an afterburner when it's behind it, number one. And number two, it's also going to see the big flare of an afterburner when it's in a scenario that it's not flying through a cloud. And now, this is one of the few times where weather is actually on our side here. So I'm going to tell my two F-15s to step it up a bit because they're wasting the viewer's time here. And again, remember, they're not activating their radars at any moment. The only thing they're really doing here, and I actually have to give them a slight lead pursuit here. And yes, Lead Pursuit was the company that produced the fantastic Falcon series. Is basically what we're doing is trying to get ourselves a little bit closer in range. Notice none of our interceptor aircraft have responded at any point. They are 100% oblivious, and here comes the fireworks. Now, the interesting thing here is you'll notice they did flip their radar on. And the other thing you'll notice is at no point did I make sure that I actually changed my volume. So because it's turning its radar on, let me go ahead and adjust my volume first. I have a new button to this. I have a new keyboard, by the way. So it should be a little quieter, I hope. So they're just going to spam. Spam RAM is the classic thing we always like to say for those who play a lot of DCS here. And let's go switch to the other side real fast. Now, do you notice the fact the other side at no point has detected the incoming attacks? Oh, missiles! Ready for some fireworks? This is the fun part, because our interceptors are basically this, if I had to guess, was detected by visual. Yes, the iris picked it up. So our Sukhoi 27s, of course, actually this is the Tupolev 22. They're immediately going to start maneuvering here. But look, there's more! Spam ram, spam ram, spam ram, spam ram, spam ram, spam ram. Gonna get spam ram. And as you can see, there was never, ever a detection at any point of the F-15s launching their weapons. Now, the problem, of course, is you're sitting here going, you obviously discharged those weapons at the wrong range. Yes, and now, as a matter of fact, since the F-15s basically followed through, this doesn't work either, because now the F-15s are going to get themselves in a dogfight, and it's not going to work. Boo! So what we'll do, of course, is we'll go load it back up again. Blue, I believe I have everybody set up. Yeah. And this time what we'll do is we'll shrink the range to our engagement to something a little more threatening. So what we'll do is we'll sneak them back in the clouds. We'll kick them back up to Afterburner. And we're just going to be a little more careful with them this time. We're going to creep up a little bit creepier. All right, get to it. Can I do this without fast forwarding to the point that it gets detected? Let's find out. Remember, we're only seeing... Oh. Sigh. So the reason they fired, of course, is because they were ordered to. So I'm actually going to press Control-Shift-F9. I'm going to come in here, and I'm actually going to order them to hold fire. Because if they fire, they're going to give the jig up before I can actually make this work. All right, here we go. I swear this will work this time. Here we go. All right, so let's get our altitude down to something that's a little bit more reasonable. We'll do 34,000 feet because it's between the two cloud layers. And go. Here we go. This time definitely. Here we go. Remember, the F-35 is providing us with the picture that we see here. Come on. All right, that's not quite point-blank range, but for me, that's plenty. Now, remember, we're going to be firing these weapons through the clouds, and the F-35 is going to be providing us with all of the required goodies that's going to make this power actually pull off. All right, here we go. All right, Shift F1, hold down Shift, drag a box around them. We're going to grab everybody. It helps if you hold the Shift key. You all get one missile. Allocate weapons. You, on the flip side, we're going to select backwards here. You all get one missile. That way we know the backfires get the missiles. You all get one missile. And I'm going to turn my volume down again because the fireworks are going to get pretty exciting. Ladies and gentlemen, this is... Ooh, calculator. Can you tell I have a new keyboard? Fire. Let's go back to the perspective of our opponents for a moment here. Keep in mind the Sukhois in the front are going to start maneuvering. Remember, there's clouds. So if you're wondering why they're not racing, again, at no point are they getting any warning they've been fired upon. No points. They're just aiming for their target. They're checking their INS. It's probably early in the morning. Yeah, actually, it's... Yeah. So they'd be seeing the sun just start to come up. Hey, we got a detection of a missile warning. That's a problem. But surprise, it's not the only one. What are you supposed to do about that? Oh, somebody returned fire. I'm impressed. And of course, you're probably very disappointed that that wasn't more effective than it should have been. The reality is once you know a missile's launched at you, especially at any sort of real range, it's pretty maneuverable. There's all sorts of fun things you can do. But the fact of the matter is, and again, if we pop this open for just a moment and take a look at our losses and expenditures, they're down 6 airplanes and all the stuff that goes with it. We haven't lost anything, but it cost us, the taxpayers, a lot. So not so good in that. Now, one of the fun things we can do here, too, and this, again, is if we were going Ultimate Tactics, Volume 1, which I'm not, we could have actually ordered the F-35 to join in with the fun. We could have had him start firing into the crowd as well. And again, you got to be really careful. Like these F-15s, the best thing they can do is afterburner and get the heck out of there as fast as they can, staying in that cloud to stay covered. But keep in mind, our F-35 now is joining the excitement. So now there's all the Sukhoi 27s that are probably firing all sorts of nasties. But check this out. Surprise! They weren't the only people who had some... None of those missiles worked. Look at how many people... Did I mention I have a new calculator? No. Did I mention I have a new keyboard? All right, so let's go ahead and grab these guys and send them up there. They have to run for their lives, but here's the thing. The F-35 now has a bunch of backfires that are completely unescorted. So from a tactical perspective, this battle's over because this F-35 could basically go up and knock. Enjoy.